énormément de monde ici, à chaque projection de Cannes Classic, ce qui veut dire que les films restaurés, l'histoire du cinéma, c'est quelque chose qui vous intéresse de plus en plus, qui vous a toujours intéressé, mais en tout cas qui prend ici à Cannes une place importante aux côtés, évidemment, de tout ce qui fait le sel de la création contemporaine. Le film que vous allez voir ce soir, Aranyer din Ratri, parce que c'est aussi parfois dans la langue originale qu'il faut se souvenir des titres, encore que le titre français et le titre anglo-saxon soient très beaux, des jours et des nuits dans la forêt. On a un invité de marque pour présenter ce film. C'est quelqu'un qui a toujours montré une passion pour Satyajit Ray. Il avait présenté la trilogie d'Apu. Je vais l'appeler dans quelques instants, c'est Wes Anderson. Mais gardez les applaudissements parce que j'ai aussi des gens à appeler. D'abord dire que Martin Scorsese, la Film Foundation, et Margaret Baudet, qui s'en occupent, font depuis des années et des années un travail de restauration absolument formidable, un travail de visite à l'histoire du cinéma. Ils trouvent la manière de financer toutes ces restaurations. Et puis, on a comme ça, y compris Duel au soleil, que nous montrons sur la plage. Et ça aussi, c'est un film très, très, très extraordinaire. Alors, elle sera là également. Et puis, je veux aussi signaler le travail à la Film Heritage Foundation, là-bas en Inde, de Shivendra Singh Dungapur, qui lui aussi fait un extraordinaire travail, un peu partout dans le monde, dans plein de territoires différents. L'histoire du cinéma revient, est exhumée, et est là avec nous, même si l'œuvre de Satyajit Ray, quelque chose d'assez connu. On est quand même content de vous présenter ce film dans les conditions. Alors on va tous les applaudir et on a la chance d'avoir deux actrices du film qui sont là, et spécialement Sharmila Tagore, dont je suis heureux de revoir, puisqu'elle était membre du jury il y a quelques années, le jury présidé par Isabelle Huppert, elle est la petite fille du grand poète Tagore. Et donc vous allez tous les applaudir énormément. Shivendra Singh Dungapur, Margaret Baudet, Margaret Baudet, les actrices Simi Garewal, Sharmila Tagore et qui est présentatrice de Wes Anderson.
Speak first. So.
I have nothing to do with this, so I'm going to speak on behalf of a fan of this movie myself.
It's what we understood that you were not bold when you made the movie.
I was.
Oh, you were, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Some years ago, I had an idea or a sort of a wish. I thought I would like to score one of my own movies to Satyajit Ray's music, to pieces I had loved from the magnificent soundtracks he composed himself for his films, starting early in his career with Team Kanya. And as you may know, he also wrote music for Merchant Ivory for a couple of their films, Shakespeare Walla, and maybe The Household, another one of their films. And anyway, in that process of investigating all of this, I learned more and more and more about what I already knew, which is how especially wildly versatile and adventurous and endlessly prolific and accomplished he was, Ray, as a movie writer and director, as a publisher, as a novelist and short story writer, as a graphic designer, calligrapher, musician, as an artist. But also about how modest and fragile and complicated some of the financing of his projects was, though he always seemed to manage to get them done. Something like 30 feature films plus documentaries too. A great favorite among his many great films, Days and Nights in the Forest, had, to an American anyway, all but disappeared. It was not available for some of these same complex reasons. And the process of its resurrection was methodical and deliberate, but with the persistence of Martin Scorsese and our team at the Film Foundation, Margaret Bodie, along with Shivendra Singh Dungapur at the Film Heritage Foundation, also crucial support from the Golden Globes Foundation, plus instrumentally Purnima Datta and Sandeep Ray. Yes, very. And of course, our friends at the Cineteca in Bologna, who worked on the restoration of State Church. With all their persistence over the past decade or more, it's finally happened, and the dazzling thing is, it's here for you to see tonight. We joined Satyajit Ray back in 1970. If he'd made the movie in America, he might have cast John Cassavetes and Peter Falk and Ben Gazzara. The movie is a novel, this one, a modern novel. It's based on a book. Four friends step out of their lives for a sort of a lost weekend, a clash/negotiation between urban and rural, and between castes and classes who live in almost different centuries, between selfish men and the women who see through them. These characters pass through the forest of this story in a kind of anxious enchantment, a sort of psychological Midsummer Night's spell. The famous memory game sequence is mesmerizing and unforgettable, and was also openly stolen by me for one of my own films as well. The great Soumitra Chatterjee plays Ashim, intellectual, quite lost, certainly arrogant. All four of them are more than a bit oblivious to the damage they do through this story, but he's searching. The great Sharmila Tagore here tonight with us. Plays Aparna, who knows much and chooses to reveal little, and who reserves her sharp, perceptive intelligence in this story. Also, the exquisite Simi Garewal, who plays the Duli in the film, is here with us, and she gives a remarkable performance, as you'll see, playing a character exceedingly unlike herself. I think you'll find. Ray's films are so clearly the personal projects of a maestro, really a kind of impresario, a gentle one. He was big, as you know, nearly 2 meters tall, like 6'5" or something like that. Is that right? About that big?
6'4".
6'4". I'm exaggerating a little, but but along with being a famous movie director, I have the impression of him too as a kind of famous professor, brilliantly knowledgeable. He edited the children's literary magazine Sandesh, which his grandfather had started and which he himself had revived, and he wrote it. Correct me if I'm wrong about something, but it's so far I'm right on. Yes. And he also wrote, maybe as you know, all the Feluda stories, which are only one of the literary series that he kept up, which includes some, by the way, Bengali science fiction, which is a genre. And there are memoirs and criticism and translations, and in fact much more. There must have been many disciples and acolytes, because I think his greatness was always obvious. He's a sort of heroic artist. So that's the way I've always felt about him. Anyway. finally, anything signed Satyajit Ray must be cherished and preserved. But Days and Days and Nights in the Forest, I think you'll agree, is one of the special gems among his many treasures. I first saw it 25 years ago on a very strangely translated, blurry, scratchy Paravid DVD from a little Bollywood shop in New Jersey. And I hope you'll enjoy tonight, perfectly restored, as much as I did then. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wes. May I call you that? Yes? That was a wonderful introduction. It was really, really lovely. I'm so excited, and all of you must be too. We are going to see a restored version of Aranyer Ratri, Days and Nights of the Forest. I have come only for that, all the way from India. 55 years old, yes, 55, and it's just wonderful. I feel it's only the other day. We shot this film in the middle of India, really, in a forest, in this month, in May. But not like here. It was very, very hot. And we didn't have any amenities. There was no air conditioning. And we all stayed in sort of makeshift houses. And it was so hot, we could only shoot, say, from 5:30 to 9 o'clock. And then again from 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock. And it just was, and the rest of the time was just anta. It's a Bengali word, which is like bonding and making friends. And all of us became excellent friends. We celebrated Manikda's birthday there. Simi got a wonderful cake from Kolkata, and it was such a fun evening. So it's been you said mostly all the things, but I want to say a couple of things. Yes. Manikda, as we called him, operated the camera himself in this film. And especially the memory game, I thought was such a complicated operation, because before that, Subrata Mitra was the DOP. He wasn't available for this film. And while the camera is on a trolley, and while is being pulled back, he's panning from one face to another, and it's totally flawless. And and because we were so poor, we could really shoot more than a couple of shots, because we didn't have the film or the money to. So I think he was just terrific, and all those people became, like I said, very, very close friends. And I'm really looking forward to see the film and see them on the screen, because sadly, most of them, actually Simi and I are the only survivors. Everybody else has passed on. So I will see my old friends on the screen and reliving those lovely moments. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're both recovering from an allergy, so I might be coughing in between. But I just want to tell you, I'm really, really happy to be here, especially with this film. Today is the 19th of May, 2025. Exactly 56 years ago, we were in a remote forest, far, far away from humanity. There was, forget air conditioning, Rinku, there was no electricity. There was no running water. There were no loos. There was no television. There were no phones. There was no communication with the outside world. But it didn't matter at all, because we felt a heightened euphoria, for we were blessed. We had the good fortune of working with one of the greatest film directors in the world, Mr. Satyajit Ray. And especially for me, I'm not a Bengali and I didn't speak the language. So for Mr. Ray, despite that, to choose me to act in his film was the biggest honor of my life, and I'm intensely grateful. But that film, I shared a friendship with Mr. Ray that continued right till the end. I have a whole pile of his letters, which are so precious to me now. And just before coming here, I was reading one of them, and one of the last few, this was in 1989, he passed away in, I think, 1991, in which he says that now I am leading a quiet life. I've retired, I'm leading a quiet life. So I have so much more time to look back at the old days. And the memories of the shoot of Aranyer in Ratri still linger in my mind. Out of my list of favorites, I would say that Aranyer in Ratri is foremost. So it is a special gem, you're quite right. But as you know, that films fade, as do memories. But Wes Anderson, Martin Scorsese, our own, can I call you Shibi? Yep. Our own Shibindra Singh Dungarpur will ensure that the classics will not be forgotten. And a young generation will get the opportunity to experience and appreciate great cinema. Gentlemen, you have not only restored Ray's masterpiece, you have made it immortal. At the back, I only wish he could have restored Manika also and brought him back to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Well, I can't add anything. That's all been so eloquent and wonderful. I'll just say, in the pantheon of cinema heroes, there's Martin Scorsese, there's Wes Anderson, now there's Shibendra. There's also Criterion, who are our partners on this project. Peter and Femiko and Ashley are here.
There.
All the cinema directs. Thierry, you're in there. Thank you so much. Hope you loved the film as much as we did.
So, I just want to thank Amit, Femiko, Peter, thank you. I mean, hadn't been for all of you, I think I would have not taken that journey in COVID to find the negative. Agni is here, he remembers that I couldn't fly, it was COVID time and the negatives were there and I had to go to via Bhubaneswar and, sorry, you I did right. No, I'm good. Yeah. So, it's such a beautiful film and it was my favorite too, and I didn't want to give up the thought of getting that film and restoring it. And it's a long journey. I think you can read a lot. Everybody has spoken. But I just want to thank Wes. Thank you so much for suggesting this film, for the support. And we need people like you around us because we, as a filmmaker too, and as somebody who now restores, unless we have the support of filmmakers like yourself, we won't be able to restore and tape this. And Thierry and Gerald, if you don't give us a platform...
it's not about us.
Okay. Okay, and thank you. And Sharmila ji and Simi, thank you very much. Let's enjoy the film. Thank you.
Merci. Applaudissements Thierry, Sopta. Je voudrais juste, en effet, saluer aussi la présence de Vincent Boldoncourt et des équipes de Carlotta qui vont sortir le film en France assez rapidement. Et puis on a la chance, vous n'êtes pas venu pour rien, puisque le grand chef opérateur Darius Konji est ici. Et je voudrais qu'on l'applaudisse. Le grand directeur de la photographie à ses côtés, Darius Konji, madame, votre dit. Darius Konji. Et c'est toujours intéressant de voir des gens qui créent aujourd'hui, de retourner voir ce cinéma-là. Et demain, on va montrer un film qui est devenu classique, became classique. C'est Amour Chien, Amores Perros. Et il y a des Alejandro González. Je peux voir et revenir voir Amores Perros. et on vous souhaite une très belle projection en partant dans la forêt.